Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero, and today we're going to be talking about JK Rowling receiving a public apology from a trans activist and drag queen who falsely accused her of being a Nazi. You know, those bad guys from WWII. We're going to jump right into this article from Bounding in the Comics. Right here, Harry Potter scribe JK Rowling receives public apology from trans activist and drag queen who falsely accused her of being a bad guy from WWII, because people just loosely throw this term around because to describe someone that they disagree with, essentially. In a massive moment of eating crow, a transgender activist who publicly and proudly accused J.K. Rowling of being a literal bad guy from WW2 over her personal views on transgender issues has come forward and offered an apology for his behavior. The situation surrounding Rowling and the activist Irish drag queen J.J. Wells first began on December 27th, when the latter took his personal brand of combative advocacy to Twitter. Replying to a tweet by retired Stanford CT police officer and veteran gay activist Fred Sargent, who not only participated in the Stonewall riots but also helped organize the very first Pride March, in which he shared a meme declaring LGBT people owe trans people nothing, trans people owe LGBT people everything, and then noted that Winker O and Joe Wells attack. Trust me, nobody's gonna make you famous, you outdated old dinosaur. Your hateful views and BS you spread have seen to that. You're obsolete and won't be around much longer. Thank God for that, because ACAB, the activist, continued, especially you, traitor. And you can see the tweets here and here. From there, Wells will spend the next few days aggressively engaging with and attempting to antagonize his ideological opponents, in particular Sargent himself, before ultimately finding himself in the crosshairs of Father Ted co-creator Graham Linehan, a prominent critic of transgender politics. Linehan found himself taken aback by how, in the course of his wild swingings, Wells had written off Sargent and actor James Dreyfus as nothing more than scumbags. Truly, you the people that are scumbags. Because you want everyone to have the same beliefs, and if they don't have the same beliefs as you, they are essentially your political enemies. In light of Linehan entering the discourse, one of Wells' supporters felt the need to offer the activist both support and thanks for promoting his career. Twitter bully Graham Linehan is currently encouraging his 500,000 followers to harass this lad, wrote Grau Crates. Linehan is obsessed with posting screenshots of his tweets and mocking him, so I'm giving his spotlight page a boost. Grau Crates called to arms was soon countered by fellow Twitter user FraggleGal, who asserted, quote, "Read up on this lad. He does exactly the same. If you can't take it, shouldn't dish it out." This is true 100%. Dodging her point and failing to recognize the hypocrisy of the man he was supporting, Grau Crates shot back, quote, "You think he deserves to be humiliated by a man with 500k followers, many of whom have replied to him with abuse, and Graham has even mocked his career. You think that's fine, Jane?" Refusing to let Grau Crates ignore the disingenuous nature of Wells' own social media activity go, another Twitter user countered, "You think it's fine publicly to incite this bad thing towards a woman just because he doesn't like her views, and you think it's you guys who aren't the bigots? Don't be so daft. He did nothing of the sort," he denied, even though we have the proof. However, likewise refusing to let the actors and supporters gaslight the public, this person interjected, "Why lie? We have receipts," and they show the receipts too, from 2020. Alongside her declaration, this person shared a screenshot of a now deleted September 22, 2020 tweet made by Wells, in which she declared, "J.K. Rowling is one of my childhood idols, but that was before she was a phobic piece of S. How confident is she that she's a witch that won't burn? I've got a stake that begs to put it to the test." So, essentially calling for harm to someone because they have a difference of opinion than you do. Even I don't do that. That's dumb. That's a waste of breath. Taking notice of the criticism being leveled his way over this tweet, Wells would later join the conversation himself to explain, "Well, to be fair, the woman in question wasn't actually being threatened with being burned alive." Yes, she was. You essentially were putting a threat out there. Hyperbolic metaphor based on her original tweet, but you know you're just playing dumb, intentionally for clout, and she is also the bad guy from WW2, or at least has views that align with them. No, she does not. You're a dumbass. You are a retard, and you should be treated as such and mocked and laughed and shamed. Following a break from social media platform for the holidays itself, preceded by him personally flagging many users disagreed with him because he's a big fat pussy, Wells will once again begin posting to his account on December 29th. Upon his return, Twitter user Lefty and Woke mocked, "And he's back. Turns out your pitiful mass flagging opposing views didn't bear the fruits you hoped for. Stay pressed, you joke of an activist." So essentially, he tried to flag people down for disagreeing with him, and it backfired and didn't work. He's back for now. Wells attempting to play along, and if Twitter doesn't sort it, my solicitor will. That's what they say in the UK is the word for lawyer. It was at this point, courtesy of Wells' attempt at a dig, that Rowling found herself among those unable to let the activist's bad faith tantrums continue. Quote, the thing about the solicitor's game is everyone can play, JJ said. I ignored your hyperbolic metaphor about harming people in 2020. I'm starting to think that this was a mistake. What's your solicitor's views on this WWII accusation? Would they advise you to defend it in court? That was a tweet made by JK Rowling in response to this tweet here. Well, embarrassingly replies Wells. We meet at last. I think to think you were once an icon to me. Usually don't idolize people, but I guess a lot of people do. I'm at fault of it too, but it is what it is. I think you absolutely have views that align with the bad guys from WW2. I think Fred also has those types of views. I think relying on tropes and stereotypes is very 1930s propaganda. Again, saying this when you don't actually know anything that she said. Let's be realistic. He would add and follow up. Anti-Semitic tropes in a children's book are one thing. So going back to the fact that he's saying that the goblins from Harry Potter are essentially a representation of Jewish people. So you are the one being the actual bigot saying these things, but you don't see the hypocrisy in it because you're that dumb. But implying encouraging the idea that a protected group of vulnerable people need to be eradicated and don't deserve protection, that's not the one we idolize as children. She never said anything of the sort, doesn't provide the evidence to the claims that he's making. As always, these people never do. They always talk under their breath and bullshit, but never actually provide the evidence to the claims that they make. In turn, Rowling would pity Wells, explaining, JJ, if anybody close to you had your best interest at heart, they'd strongly advise you not to keep handing my lawyers ammunition. Setting aside the burning at the stake tweet he posted about me, which you now claim was a metaphor, because he's trying to avoid legal action being made towards him, because he knows that he's inciting bad things to happen to JK Rowling in the tweet. Which I ignored against advice. You've published defamatory statements about me and are compounding the offense by saying I'm encouraging the eradication of a group of vulnerable people. She wrote, all this came about in the context of you attacking this person, a gay rights icon, and wishing for them to be harmed. To deletion. I understand you and your ilk feel untouchable, observed Rowling, who then signed off, I understand that in your own minds you're heroes of unimpeachable righteousness, justified in this bad thing, defaming and threatening. You were the one who dragged his lawyer into this, so by all means, let's go to lawyers. And that's where things remained until February 13th, where seemingly apropos of nothing, Wells announced via his personal Twitter, quote, I would like to publicly apologize for a previous Twitter thread where I interacted with JK Rowling on matters relating to the transgender community. I have now removed those tweets and would like to apologize to JK Rowling directly for causing potential upset because you knew you were about to get fucked up the ass, taken to court, and fucked for all you had. And you know you ain't got money because you bitches out here, you little activists, y'all ain't got money. Y'all broke as shit. You fucking brokies. I failed to choose my words with care and would like to retract my previous statements relating to her views on the alphabet community, and more specifically, the T people. The activist ultimately admitted, I would like to retract my liking to J.K. Rowling to any far right or bad guys from WW2 organization, and emphasized it do not wish any individual, inclusive of J.K. Rowling, to come to any harm. Again, you knew you were about to get completely served, completely fucked, so you decided to backtrack like a big old pussy and not stand on your words. It's possible, and even likely given both their respective warnings, that they would be lawyering up, and the wording of his 3 tweets, that Wells' apology to Rowling is a result of legal action. However, as of writing, whether or not he was compelled to make this apology on the threat of law remains unconfirmed. So essentially, to sum it all up, most people, like this person, will defame people regularly on Twitter by calling them the bad guys from WW2, calling them all these instant foes, and nothing of legal action ever happens. So they'll just continue to do it over and over and try to get these labels to stick to you. Whereas someone who has money like JK Rowling, because she is a billionaire, and you buying Hogwarts Legacy isn't going to make her any more rich than she could possibly be, think you could spew your BS against somebody and defame them and think you're going to get away with it. Well, at the end of the day, J.K. Rowling, we not like it said in the article, we're not exactly sure why this person decided to apologize, but clearly someone was talking in his ear saying, "You're going to get fucked by being taken to court by one of the richest, basically one of the richest people in J.K. Rowling, and she's looking to sue your bitch ass into the ground because you decided that you were going to spew your bullshit online behind your little monitor, behind your little keyboard, like a little keyboard warrior, and think you're going to get away with that shit." And she said, "Nah, fuck off. I'm going to sue your ass." So now you have to apologize and not stand your ground like the big old pussy that you are. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. All the new subscribers, all the old subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you did like the video, hit the like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set it to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.